So friends, last week I released a video onto the SQL portfolio project onto the basic data exploration tasks onto the Zomato dataset. So this video is a continuation from the previous video. This is the part 2 of the same video. So if you haven't checked out that video, you can check out from this particular link which is popping out right now onto your screen. The part 1 of the video, we got an overview of the dataset and also we solved some problems onto the same dataset. Part 2 will consist of some of the interesting questions onto some of the advanced level concepts. Without wasting much time, let us quickly move on to the screen and let us start solving the next problems. Before that, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Let's move to the problems. Let us move to the problem number 6. Let us see what the problem is saying. So you can see here, which item was purchased first by the customer after they became a member. So you can see here we have this particular table, select star from gold users underscore sign up. Here we are having the user ID detail, the user ID and the date on which the sign up was done to become a gold member. So this particular information we have into this particular table. Now what is the data we want? So we want to know like which item was first purchased by the customers after they are becoming a member, a gold member. So this will be a very good indication like whether a product they are getting attracted, like the customers they are getting attracted and they are becoming a gold member, because of which they are becoming a gold member. So we want to know like if there is certain product or not. So we will be gathering this particular information with the help of this problem. So let us see how to do this. So we have the gold user sign up date and we have the sales informations. As you can see, I'll just simply run all of these 4 queries. So you can see I have the gold user sign up date and also I have the sales information. So here we would be needing to use the non-equi joins concept. So we will be first joining onto the basis, like we'll be joining the sales table as well as the gold user sign up table, and we'll be joining onto the basis of the user ID, because we just want to get the information of the users who have a gold members with them. So we want this particular information. So let us see how to do this. So first of all, I'll just join both of these tables. So I'll just write here, select user ID comma created date comma product ID, and from the gold user sign up date we want to know like on which date the user has signed up to become a gold member. So we want this information here. So I'll be presenting this column. Let us provide the alias here, and this will, I'll be doing the inner join. So from sales inner join gold users sign up on, and sales we have the alias as A, gold user sign up has the alias as B, onto which column we want to join both of these tables. So you can see here the common column is the user ID column. So we'll be joining onto the basis of the user ID. So I'll just write here a.user ID is equal to b.user ID. Now here one more thing, we just want to get the information for the user ID 1 and 3 because they have the gold membership with them. So for these 2 user ID, we just want to get the information after they have signed up onto the gold membership. So we just want to get this information and we want to know what is the first order which they had ordered. Okay, this should be B. Let us execute, rerun the query. This is the output which we wanted. Friends, one of the reason why I did an inner join was I just wanted to get the information of the users who have a gold membership with them. So you can see that user ID S2 did not had the gold membership. So you can see here no data is present. So this is the gold user sign up table. You can see the information is just present for user ID 1 and 3, and you can see here when I have done the inner join here also the information is just for user ID 1 as well as user ID S3. So friends, we have got this information. Now from this particular table which we have created, or the subquery data which we have, we just want to get the information after like the user they have signed up, like they have done the gold membership signed up thing. So we'll be filtering out the information for that. So let us see how to do this. So here only we will be applying a particular condition, and the created date, this should be greater than the gold sign update. So I hope this particular thing is clear, like the condition which I have mentioned. So this is the non-equijoin which we are doing. So we are telling that give me all the data, give me all the orders ID data where the date is greater than the gold user sign up date. So whenever the user has signed up on to the gold membership, after that whatever order the user has placed, give me that particular data, and I will be applying all the formulas and applying the logics onto that particular data. So let us run this particular query. So you can see here we are getting the information. Now we have got the information of the users who are having a gold membership and their order information after they have applied for the gold membership. We are having this information. One more thing is we should apply greater than equal to gold user sign up date. This will be much better. So we are getting the same data, but this is a good practice. So after we have got this particular information, we want to know what is the first order which was purchased by the customers after they have applied for the gold membership. So we would just simply apply the rank function onto this particular data. We will be sorting or ordering onto the basis of the created date column. We will be filtering out the lowest date, the minimum date from this particular thing. So let us see how to do this, and I'll put this into a sub query here. After this I will be applying a rank function here. So I'll just rename this subquery as C. I'll just do this here, select C dot star comma rank. I'll be providing over, so we'll be partitioning onto the basis of the user ID here, because for each user I want to know what is the first order which was purchased by each of the users. So I'll be partitioning onto the basis of the user ID. So partition by user ID, and by what means I want to provide the rank. So I want to provide the rank onto the basis of the created at their order date. I want to provide the rank, and this should be into the ascending order. Let us rename this as, let us execute the query here. So you can see the rank has been provided, and from this I would just filter out the information for rank is equal to 1. So I'll just put here select star from this, and I'll be mentioning where rank is equal to 1. That's it is required here. Okay, this should be select. You can see here we are getting the information for all the orders which have been placed by the users after they have applied for the gold membership. We are getting this information. So you can see here user ID 1 has purchased product ID as 3 as the very first order after he has got the gold membership, and the user ID as 3 has purchased product ID as 2 as the very first order. So this is the information which was being wanted into the question number 6. Let us move to the next question. Here we want which item was purchased just before the customer became a member. So here it is just the opposite of what we have done into the previous question. So if you just imagine, it is just the opposite of what we have done. So into the previous question we wanted to get the information of the order which was purchased, product which was purchased after the user has become a gold member. Into this particular question I want to get the information about the customer, like what order or the product the customer has purchased before becoming the member. So I want to get this information. So for this it is pretty much simple. I'll just copy this code below and I'll do some minute changes. So what are the changes which I need to do here? So earlier I provided here greater than equal to sign. The created add date should be greater than equal to the gold sign up date. So This I did because I wanted to get the information of all the orders which was purchased after the members they have got the gold membership sign up. Now I want to get the information of all the orders of the customers before they have applied for the gold membership. So here I need to provide the symbol which will be less than and equal to gold sign up date. So this will give me information of all the orders which were done before becoming a gold members. So here we are getting the information, and also order by created date, this should be into the descending order, because the most latest order which was purchased before becoming a gold membership, that should be given the rank 1, and we just want to get that particular information, like the order which was purchased just before becoming the gold members. So I want to sort out my date onto the basis of the descending order, so that the very latest date would be given the rank 1. So friends, let us execute this particular query. I hope the logic is very much clear now. So you can see here both the user id 1 and the user id s3 is purchasing product id s2, and then they are becoming the gold members. So right now the data is quite small, but let's say when you are working onto the real data, it will be very huge. So the purpose of this particular portfolio project is just to give you an idea on what type of problems you'll be tackling upon and you'll be solving onto the real basis. So onto the real basis, the data would not be so much simple, it's so much small with 2 rows. You can just imagine the e-commerce and the other industries, they have millions of customers who are purchasing daily. So you will be having lakhs and crores of data, and you will be playing around them and solving such type of problems only. So the purpose of this particular project is just to give you as visibility and idea on what type of problems you can expect into the real interview, so that it is very much easy for you to clear those interviews. Let us move to the next problem. What is the total orders and amount spent for each member before they are becoming a member? So here we want to know what is the total number of orders a person is doing, and what is the total amount the person is spending on all of these orders before they are becoming a gold members. So we want to get this particular information. Now why this information is so much significant? Because let's say the total number of orders, we are getting a visibility like, okay, if the person, this is the average number of orders we are getting, and after that the person is, or any user is becoming a gold member. So this is a very good indication for a particular business. So let's see how we are solving this particular problem. So this is also a similar kind of problem. The code will be kind of very much similar for the previous problem, because we want to get the information for each of the member before they are becoming a gold member, this particular information, and we have done here into this particular problem only. So I'll just copy paste the same code. Let us execute the code here. This particular code, this code gives us the data of all the products which have been purchased by the users who are having a gold membership before getting a gold membership. So you can see user id 1 and user id s3 are having the gold membership sign up, and we have the information for the same. From this we want to know like what is the total number of orders which the user id 1 and 3 has purchased, and the total amount that has been spent by these particular users. Now you can see here we don't have the amount for each of the product, like what is like product id 1, 2 and 3, what was the amount. So we want to get this information like the total amount which was for these particular products. So I think we'll be getting from this particular table, select star from product. So you can see here we are having the product id and the price of the product. So we need to join both of these tables. So onto this particular table I would just present this into a subquery. I'll just rename this, and I will do here select c dot star comma, and from d I would require the price. From this I'll perform a inner join, and inner join what? So inner join product, I'll do onto which column we want to inner join both of these tables. So we want to join onto the basis of the common column. So the common column is the product ID column, because we want to know what is the price for each of the product. So we want to join on the basis of the product ID column, d dot product ID. That's it is required. Let us execute the query. So you can see here we're getting the price of each of the products also we have gotten. So after this we want to know what is the total amount which has been spent by the customers, and the total amount or the total number of orders which have been done by the customers before they are becoming a gold member. So let us see how to do this. So I'll just provide a select, and I'll be getting the user ID. I will be counting over the created ad date. So we don't have a transaction ID or the order ID, but we can just count on the basis of the created date here. Like each order will be processed or purchased on a particular date, so we can take into account the count of the created date thing, and we'll be summing over the price to get the total price of the products which has been purchased. That's all. And at the very last I will be grouping by onto the basis of the user ID. Let us execute the code here. So you can see here user ID 1, the total number of orders which have been purchased is 3. I would provide the column names, order purchased, total amount spent. Let us execute the query once again with the new column. So you can see here user ID 1 and the user ID as 3. The total number of orders which have been purchased is 5 and 3, and the total amount which has been spent by user ID as 1 is 4030 and 2720 by the user ID as 3. So friends, we are getting this particular information. Let us move to the next problem here. This will be a very interesting one, so I hope you'll be enjoying while you are solving this particular problem. This is very much interesting to solve. So you can see here, if buying each product generates point, for example 5 rupees is equal to 2 Zomato points, and each product has different purchasing points. For example, product 1 will have, like, if you're purchasing product 1, for every 5 rupees you are spending, you'll be getting 1 Zomato point. For product ID S2, for every 10 rupees you are spending, you will be getting 5 Zomato points. And for product ID S3, for every 5 rupees you are spending, you will be getting 1 Zomato points. So friends, onto all of these applications, onto all of these food purchasing websites or any of the e-commerce websites, we'll be getting certain rewards, certain kind of cashbacks when we are purchasing any particular order or anything, and we can use these cashbacks again when we are purchasing something. So this is a similar kind of you can say problem here. Like, we are purchasing for a certain amount of rupees and we are getting some points. Something what similar happens into the Flipkart websites. We get some super coins or something, I cannot remember right now, but we will be getting like these kind of coins into almost all of the e-commerce websites. So the problem is based onto the same lines. So for each of the product we are getting a different Zomato points. Like, for example, product ID is 1, we are getting 5 rupees. For every 5 rupees spent, we will be getting 1 Zomato point. For product ID is 2, for every 10 rupees spent, we'll be getting 5 Zomato point. And for product ID is 3, we'll be getting, for every 5 rupees spent, we'll be getting 1 Zomato point. And you can see here the problem, it is mentioned that how many Zomato point is how much rupees. So you can see here 2 Zomato point is equal to 5 rupees they mentioned. So what is the metric which we need to calculate here? So we need to know, like, calculate the points collected by each customer and for which product most points have been given till now. So the problem has, like, this is just a single problem, but the problem contains two parts. So let us split the problem into two parts and and we'll be solving it into a sequence. So let us first of all solve this part. We want to calculate the total points collected by each of the customer till now. So which of the table will be using for this purpose? So let us get the total number of sales which have been done into all of these websites till now. So we'll be using this table. Let us execute this particular code. So you can see here we are getting all the sales information. Now we want to calculate the total points collected by each of the customer. See, for each of the Zomato point, they are mentioned in respect to a particular amount which has been spent into each of the product. So here we want to get the amount also for each of the product. So we would need to do a inner join onto the basis of the sales and the product. We would need to do a inner join so that we are getting the corresponding, let's say, the price for each of the product here. So I want to get the price, and from the first table I want to get everything. Sales A, I'll do a inner join product B onto the basis of which column. So onto the basis of the product ID column I want to get the inner join, because I want to get the price for each of the products. So I'll just execute the code here. So you can see I'm getting the user ID, the product ID, and the price of each of the product. Here we are getting the information. From here, let's say what type of problem which we are solving here, what type of data we want. So I want to know the total amount which has been spent by each of the customer for each of the product which the customer has purchased. So I want to get these type of partitions, you can say, or the groups I want to create for each of the customer and for each of the product, like the total amount which has been spent by the customer. So I want to get this particular information right now. So from this particular data only I can get it. I'll provide this into a subquery. I'll write here select. I'll do let's say c dot user id and c dot product id comma sum over price from C, and will be grouping by onto the basis of the user ID as well as the product ID, as I have discussed right now. So for each users, for each of the product, I want to get the total sales information. So you can see here for user ID as 1, product ID as 1, the total sales is this. For user ID as 1, the product ID as 2, the total sales is this amount. So we are getting this information right now. We'll be using this information to know like the total amounts or the total points which has been collected by each of the customer. Now how do we calculate that? So you can see here we have this information for each of the product, like how much amount of Zomato point they are giving. So 5 rupees is equal to 1 Zomato point for product ID as 1, and 10 rupees is equal to 5 Zomato point for product ID as 2, and 5 rupees is equal to 1 Zomato point for product ID as 3. We are having this information according to each of the product ID which is mentioned here. If I somehow get the total amount of Zomato points which the product ID is getting, our purpose will be served. So let us say I'll be creating a new column here, and the column would be something like Zomato points or points, and into that column I'll be having like for product ID is 1, how much, for how many rupees, how much Zomato point we are getting. For product ID is 2, how much rupees, how many Zomato points we are getting. So here we have the rupees, and somehow if we get the rupees here only, so we will be getting the total number of Zomato points which the customers they have earned till now. So we'll be using the case when statement here. Let's see, I'll provide this into a subquery. I'll rename this as amount. I'll do here a select d dot star comma case when product id is equal to 1, then 5 when product id is equal to 2. What we'll be writing here? So we'll be writing here 2. Now why 2? So you can see here 10 rupees is equal to 5 Zomato points. So 2 rupees, in other terms I can just write here that 2 rupees for product ID is 2 rupees is equal to 1 Zomato point. I can write into the other terms, so that is why I'm writing here as 2, because somehow I want to get the total number of Zomato points only, and we are having the rupees column here. So if we get somehow the rupees thing, it will be better for us to convert that into a Zomato point. We'll be verifying this later, like whatever we are doing is correct or not. When product ID is equal to 3, then it should be, so you can see here for product ID is 3, it will be 5. Else, let's say I'll just provide this as 0, and we'll be renaming this column as, let's say, points something from this. Let us execute this particular code. So you can see here we are getting the total number of points with respect to the product IDs. Product ID is 1, total number of points is 5, 1, 5. Product ID is 2, the total number of points is 2. Now this is not the total number of points till now, so we want to get the points which have been earned for this amount which has been spent. So we need to divide both of these columns to get the other column which will be having the information of the total number of points which has been earned till now. So for this we'll be dividing both of these columns here. I'll be again providing this into a subquery here, and here I'll be writing select e dot star comma amount. I'll be dividing by points from this. That's all. Let us execute the query here. So you can see here, this is what we are getting. So total, this column will be the total points earned. So you can see here we are getting the total number of points which has been earned till now. Let us verify few of them, like whatever we have done is correct or not. So for product ID as 1, so you can see here for 5 rupees, for every 5 rupees which has been spent onto the product ID as 1, for any customer, the total number of points will be getting as 1 Zomato points. So for product ID as 1, for user ID as 1, the total amount which was spent by was 1960. So I'll just open my calculator here. So 1960, definitely the answer would be the same, pretty much correct. So you can see we are getting here 392. Let's verify for the second number product. So for every 10 rupees which was spent, we are getting 5 Zomato points here. Let us see we are getting or not. So that means that 2 rupees is equal to 1 Zomato point here. So the total amount which was spent is 2610, and 2 rupees is equal to 1 Zomato point. So this I'll be simply dividing by 2, so we are getting 1305. Similarly for product ID is 3, we are getting the total amount is 660. The total points which is being earned for each Zomato point is 5 rupees, so we'll be dividing 660 divided by 5. Let us do this, is 60 divided by 5, so we are getting 132. So we are getting finally like the total number of points which have been earned for each of the product. Why we needed to do this was because for each of the product, the total number of Zomato points which was distributed was different. So that is why we needed to do this. After this, we want to know, you can see here, we want to calculate the total points collected by each of the customers. So we have done till here. After this, it's just for each of the customer, I want to know the total points which have been collected. So I'll do a sum over total points. From this, I'll be doing a group by on the basis of the user ID. That's all is required. Let us execute the query. So friends, this you can see here for user id as 1, the total points have been earned, which is mentioned here. For user id as 2, similarly for user id as 3, we are getting the total points which has been earned by each of the customers till date for each of the orders. So we are getting this information, total points earned. So we are getting this information. Now if want to know like for how many points, how many rupees was given, so you can see here 5 rupees was given for 2 Zomato points. For every 2 Zomato points we are getting 5 rupees. If you wanted to calculate like how much rupees is present into the wallet, or how much cashbacks a particular customer has earned till now, to calculate this we can take into assumption like this particular thing which they mentioned. 2 Zomato points is equal to 5 rupees. That means that 1 Zomato point is equal to 2.5 rupees. So these many points we have, so we can simply multiply this with 2.5 and we will be getting to know like the total points earned, and this should be total money earned or total cashbacks earned. I hope this is pretty much clear whatever I have told. So this is the total cashbacks which have been earned by each of the customers. So you can see here 5 rupees is equal to 2 Zomato points. So 1 Zomato point will be 2.5 rupees. So and here we have got the total number of points which have been earned by each of the customers. So we'll be simply multiplying with 2.5 to get the total number of rupees which has been earned by each of the customer. Friends, this was the very first part. Let us move to the second part of the problem, and we want to know for which product most points have been given till now, till date. So this particular thing is a sub part of this particular question only of the code what we have written. So you can see here for each of the product and for each of the users we have gotten the total number of points which have been earned. Now here we want to know for each of the product. Earlier we have calculated points for each of the customers. Now I want to calculate the same thing for each of the product. So I'll be simply copying the same code here, and instead of user id I'll be grouping by on the basis of the product id to get the information of the total number of points which have been earned for each of the product. And I'll be removing this 2.5 from here. Okay, this is bad. This should be user id only. Instead this should be changed to product id at the very last. So I'll do this product id. That's all is required here. Let us execute the code. Here we'll be getting the information for the total number of amounts. Okay, this should be points instead of money. I'll just execute the code. So you can see here we are getting the total number of points which have been given for products till now. So which product has given most points till now? So we would be simply getting the max from here, or instead we can also use the rank function here as usual. So I'll just use the rank function only, that's my favorite. So I'll be ordering by on the basis of the total points earned, and this should be into the descending order from this, and we'll be getting a rank. This is just points. Let us run the query. So you can see here a rank has been provided for each of the row. Now we'll be just be filtering out the row which is having the rank as 1, because we want to get the information of the product which has been given the highest number of points till date. So I'll just be filtering out where rank is equal to 1. I'll just execute the code here. So see, we are using various functions. So this is a pretty much interesting problems. Like these type of problems, they are very much important whenever you are solving, whenever you are practicing for SQL for any interviews. You will be facing such type of level problems, such type of deep level problems. So you can just see here, the problem was just for a single statement, but we solved the problem using how many layers. So sequentially you need to break the problem to small parts. For each of the part you can simply solve using simple formulas and then build upon the solution. So this is the particular logic you should apply every time when you are solving such level of complex problems. So friends, we have solved the problem number as 9. So friends, let us move to the next problem, and this is also pretty much interesting to solve. Let us see what is the problem it is saying. So in the way, first 1 year after a customer joins the gold program and including the joining date, irrespective of what the customer has purchased, they earned 5 Zomato points for every 10 rupees spent. Who earned more, 1 or 3? And what was their points earning in their first year? So friends, you can see here onto the gold user sign up data, only 2 customers have gold user sign up. So that is why they have mentioned here 1 and 3, because 2 was not a gold member. So here we want to know, like into the first year of the membership, of their membership, after they have joined the gold membership, what was their point earnings into the very first year. And the points earning is pretty much constant after, let's say, a customer has purchased a gold membership. So during the very first year of the gold membership, they are getting a certain advantage, you can say here. Like for any product they are purchasing, irrespective of the product ID, they will be getting 10 rupees for every 5 Zomato points they are spending. So we want to know like the total number of points they have earned into the very first year of joining their Zomato membership. We want to calculate this thing. So in another terms, you can say here 1 Zomato points is equal to 2 rupees. So for every 2 rupees which is being spent, we are getting 1 Zomato point onto each of the product, irrespective of the product. It is clearly mentioned here. So friends, these are the kind of constraints they are provided into this particular problem, and we need to solve this. Let us see how to solve this particular problem. So first of all, I want to get the information of the orders which have been purchased from the users when they have got the gold membership, and from the 1 year, like till the 1 year from the users they have got the gold membership. So I want to get the information of only those orders. I don't want the information of all the orders. I just want to get the information of the orders for the gold membership sign up users from the date they have got the gold membership and till 1 year. I want to get this information. So I'll be using a part of the code which we have done earlier. So you can see here which item was purchased first by the customer after they became a member. So this code will help us a lot. So I'll take the help of this code here for question number as 10. I'll paste this code. Let us execute the code here. I'll just execute. So you can see we are getting the information of the orders which have been purchased after the users they have become the gold membership. Like there can be orders like after the users they have become the gold membership 2 years, 3 years, after 5 years, whatever orders they purchased, but we are only concerned for their first year earnings, like the first year when they are becoming the gold members. So here we need to provide another constraint, and this constraint would be something like created date, like the order date that should be less than equal to the gold sign up date plus 365. So I can just give a random number. So I am telling the code like the created date, it should be between the user has signed up for the gold membership and till the next year, like within this particular year I want to get this information. So that is why I have added 365 to the gold user sign up date, so that I can just get the date after 1 year, and within this particular range I want to get the information for any user. So let us see, let us execute the code. I hope the logic is pretty much clear. As you can see here, error is coming up, and this I've done intentionally to help you understand that like you cannot add the dates to a particular date simply. Like if I want to get the date 10 days from now, so I cannot just simply add plus 10. Similarly, I cannot simply add here plus 365 if I want to get the date 1 year from now. So for this we have this particular function. Please remember this particular function, that is the date add. So you can see here I am using the date add function. I am joining or adding up the date, so we can add on to the days basis, month basis, year basis also. I'm adding on to the basis of the year, so I want to add 1 year. Onto which data I want to add 1 year? I want to add 1 year onto this particular date, that is the gold sign up date. I want to add 1 year to this particular date. Let us execute this particular query. Let us see if this runs or not. So you can see here this successfully runs. So please remember this particular function whenever you are adding any dates or removing any dates. So this will work also when you are just removing any date or you want to go back from a certain date. So this will work into those cases also. So after we have got this particular data, you can see here for every 10 rupees spent, we are getting 5 Zomato points. In another terms, we can say that 1 Zomato points is equal to 2 rupees. So we will be getting this information. Now after this, I also want to know the amount for each of the product. We also want to get this information, like what was the total amount for each of the products. So I'll just be writing here select c dot star comma d dot, and this should be amount from c inner join product d on. So I hope the table name is product only. Yes, a dot product id is equal to d dot product id. So this is c. Instead of amount it will be price. Let us execute the query once again here. So you can see here we are getting the price for each of the product. Now only one order has been purchased into the very first year after they have joined the gold membership, each of the user. Now from here I want to know what is the points they have earned into the very first year they have joined the gold membership. So to get or to know the points they have earned, you can see 1 Zomato point is equal to 2 rupees, and I am having the price information here. And this is into the rupees. So if I need to convert this into the points, so can we say 0.5 Zomato points is equal to 1 rupees? Obviously we can say. So we will be using this information. So 1 rupees is equal to 0.5 Zomato points. So simply here we will be multiplying the price to get the total number of Zomato points, and we'll be multiplying the price with 0.5, and this will be total points, and that's all is required. Let us execute the code. So you can see here we are getting the total points which have been earned by each of the customer from the date of the membership till 1 year they are into the gold membership. So you can see clearly user id s3 has earned the most number of points into the very first year of the gold membership. So this particular problem also was quite interesting, and you required to have some like calculations things here which you required to do, as you could see, and then use this thing into the code to get your answer. And also you could see we have learned about this date add function. Whenever we want to add any date to any, like we want to get go ahead or go back from a certain date, we can use this particular function. So let us move to the next problem. So I hope you are enjoying this particular video. Please understand that this particular project is all about the data exploration task. You can expect such type of problems into the real interviews. So this portfolio project will add a lot of value into your resume when you will be displaying your findings, when you will be displaying the calculations you have done, the formulas you have used. So this will add a lot of value into your project. So friends, let us move to the next problem. This is pretty much simple, I guess. We want to rank all the transactions of the customers. So this is pretty much simple. I'll just do a select star from sales. Let us execute the query here. So you can see here we are getting the user ID created at like the order date and the product with the order the person has purchased. I want to rank this particular thing, all the transactions of the customer. So simply they have not mentioned like whether I need to provide the ranking onto the basis of the descending order or the ascending order. So we just simply will be providing the rank. So rank over partition by. So also there are no partitions. Okay, partitions will be there onto the basis of the user ID. As you can see, transactions of the customers. So you partition by user ID and order by, let's say, created date, and this should be ascending order. That's it is required from our end. It was a simple problem. So you can see we have provided the rank. Let us move to the second problem here, 12th number problem. So rank all the transactions for each of the member whenever they are a gold member. For every non-gold member transaction, mark as any. So friends, here what is the data we want? So let us get select star from sales. So here we want to rank all the transactions for each of the customer whenever they are gold member, Zomato gold member. For every non-gold member, transaction mark as NA. So we want to, into the previous example, there was no restriction onto the ranking. We just simply wanted to rank all the transactions done by each of the customer. While here we want to rank all the transactions, but we need to do only for the gold members. We don't want to do for all of the members. We only want to do for the gold members here. And also if you would just see, like user ID 1 and 3, they were the gold members previously, but before they have become the gold members, they were the non-gold member only. They were not gold members. So you can clearly see it is mentioned here, for every non-gold member transaction we need to mark this as NA. So for all the transactions which were done by user ID as 1 and 3 before they are becoming the gold member, we will be marking them as NA, because for every non-gold member transaction it should be marked as NA. So this is the kind of data which we want. So this is a kind of little complex problem if you would imagine. Let us see how to proceed with solving this particular problem. So I'll just do your select star from sales. I'm getting the information. Let us get the information of the orders which have been done by the gold members user after they have become the gold member. That will be, let's say, pretty much easy for us, I guess. I'm presuming for now. So I would simply copy this code. So this code was for which item was purchased first by the customer after they have become a member. So this will help us when we are calculating, like when the users they are becoming a member. So you can see here I'm getting the inner join. Instead of inner join, I need to use left join, because I want to do this for each member. As you can see here, for each member I want to give this particular thing. I just don't want to do this just for the gold member. I want to do this for each of the user. So I'll simply execute this code. So you can see For each of the non-gold membership, I'm getting here null. As you can see here, I'm getting all of these are null. For the gold member transactions, I'm getting a certain date. For user id s2, as you can see here, this is marked as null because user id s2 is not a gold member only, so that is why it is marked as null. So for this I need to provide a ranking. Let us see how to do this. So I hope this is pretty much clear whatever I have done till now. So the earlier problem was simple, all because this is just an extension, a little extension of the previous problem. So I'll just provide this into a subquery. I'll write this as c select c dot star comma. I'll be providing rank onto the basis of rank over partition. By onto what basis do I need to partition? I want to partition for each of the user, and onto what basis I need to provide the rank. So I need to provide the rank for each of the transactions. So let's say order by created date. So they have not mentioned whether this should be into the descending or the ascending order. I'll providing that for now into the descending order. And from this should be select partition. Spelling is wrong. So you can see here we had provided the rank function, but this is not the output which we wanted. So for every gold member transaction, we needed to provide a rank, but for every non-gold member transaction, as you can see here, this should be, the rank should be marked as NA, but you can see this is not working for now. We should give here gold sign update, and let us see if this would work in our favor or not. Simply execute the code. As you can see right now, for every null value I'm getting 3, and for any dates it is present I'm getting 1, and this is because the gold user sign up date is same for each of the user id. Obviously this makes sense. The alternative we should do here, let us take into account the case when statement, and that would do our purpose here. So I'll put here case when gold sign up date is null, then this should be marked as NA, else and as rank. I hope this code is clear. To the previous output, you must have seen, like for all the non-gold member transactions, the gold sign up date was null, and it also makes sense because the gold members was not purchased only, like gold membership was only not purchased by the users. How will there will be a date for the gold membership date? So it makes sense. So we are just telling our code, like whenever that is null, then mark that as NA, else provide the simple rank function which we are doing on the basis of the created date and partition by user id. So we are telling our code to do this. Let us execute the query here. Let us see what is the output which we are getting. So you can see here we are getting error converting data type varchar to big int, and this is because you can see here this is NA, and here we'll be getting a rank, and this will be an integer value, and we are getting here a varchar, so this won't work. So let us, for now I'll replace NA with 0. Let us execute the query. At least we are getting an output, a kind of correct output. So instead of 0 there should be NA, and the correct rankings are being provided for all the gold sign up transactions, and for every non-gold member transaction these are being marked as 0 for now. So we need to convert somehow these zeros to NA. Let us make one more case when statement, and let us do this. So I would simply write here select okay, let's say e dot star comma rank. Okay, I'll just make this as case when rank is equal to 0, then na, else rank from this. I hope this works. Let us execute the query. I need to mention here end as rank. So friends, let us execute the query. So you can see here again it is throwing the same error, and this is because the data type is not matching. So let us do certain changes, and this I've done intentionally here to help you understand that you cannot accommodate two different data types into the same column. You need to have the particular data type into the entire column. So currently I'm having an integer value into the rank column. So somehow if I can convert this column into the varchar data type, and then I can insert these na values afterwards. So let us see how are we converting these particular integer column into a varchar column. This is also a pretty much interesting concept to know, and whenever you are solving such complex level problems, these type of logics they will help you. So for this I'll be using this cast function here. So cast is used to change the data type. So we can just simply write here, so for which data type you want to change this column. So I want to cast this as varchar. So just this we need to mention onto which data type you want. So this particular entire thing we are telling the code that cast this entire thing, this particular entire column as varchar. That's all we are telling. Let us execute the code, and I hope now it will successfully run. So you can see here ranks are being provided for every gold member transactions, and na values as they have mentioned into the code is being provided for all the non-gold member transactions. Friends, I hope this is pretty much clear, and this problem was pretty much interesting so solve. I also enjoyed a lot while solving this particular problem. The best problem was the last problem, I could say. We learned a lot from this particular problem, frankly speaking. So friends, this was all about the portfolio project. So I give you all the authority to use each and every line of the code for your purpose, and I hope you clear your interviews after you have displayed this particular project. You can create beautiful dashboards for from the results which we are getting here, from the outputs which we are getting here. So let's say the data currently is very much small, but you can simply add new data points from your end, some random data points from your end. That won't take much time. It will hardly take 15 minutes for you, and after this you can create beautiful Power BI dashboards. So it will add a lot of value. You are giving a visibility, like you are having the SQL plus you are having the Power BI skills. So this will add a lot of value to your portfolio. So this was a simple data exploration task, not simple. We were solving some complex level problems also. So the best problem was the last problem. So that was the best, and we also learned some advanced level of concepts such as how do we convert integer column to a varchar column, or how do we add dates to a particular date, how do we go back from a certain date. So we learned a lot about all of these. We use the rank function a lot. So friends, this was all about the portfolio project. So I hope you have enjoyed from this particular project. You have learned a lot, and it had added a lot of value to your portfolio. So friends, that was all about this particular project and the video. We will be meeting into the next video with a new portfolio project. So do keep checking out this particular channel, and don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't, to receive such kind of useful information. So meet in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.